Alright, so we were talking about blood sugar levels. Ultimately, what we want to do is make it so our energy level is steady and predictable. That's going to be your best friend for being able to know if you have an event or you're training or you're competing at all, or maybe you're a firefighter doing forestry type stuff or whatever. You want to be able to predict what your energy level will be in the future, and this is how you do it. The first way is an example of, it's the top example. If people eat sad crap, it's really hard to get the blood sugar stabilized. If they're skipping the BNBBs, or a combination of the two, it's near impossible. In other words, it doesn't matter how much good food you're eating, because the level of nutrition isn't necessarily consistent, and we'll talk about that more thoroughly here in a bit. So when you have the BNBBs on board, and you eat every 2 to 3 hours whole food, ultimately your energy level will go up as the day goes on. In the end of the, between 4 and 8 p.m. you'll have a peak energy level, rather than the alternative, which means you bonk at about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Making the energy level, eating in a way where it's going up and down, makes the body prone to disease, the degenerative diseases. It sets you up for heart disease, diabetes, obesity, syndrome X, all these different things. Whereas eating in a way where the blood sugar stabilizes pushes you further away from that. If we go to the next page, we see it says there's 3 columns, 3 types of dietary supplements. And on the left hand it says interrupts performance. On the right hand side it says improves performance. There's essentially 3 different types of dietary supplements on the market. That picture with the coal tar power poles, that's an example of synthetic supplements. Synthetic supplements, the scientists know what vitamin C looks like in the molecular structure. They'll take that coal tar, take it in the laboratory, and they sort of make an artificial model of vitamin C. But you can't trick nature. It's ultimately going to be a mirror image of vitamin C, and it really doesn't get the same effect, because what we're going for is nourishing the cells. If you don't nourish the cells, then it's not nutrition, okay? They make it out of coal tar. It really interrupts performance. It causes inflammation in the body. All the things that we're trying to avoid. It causes interruption in the blood sugar and the insulin and all these things. Second kind of dietary supplement is what we call extracted. That's when they take say they want vitamin C. They take an orange, they push hexane, which is another petroleum product like solvent, like gasoline, through the orange, and it pulls everything out. Then they heat it up to super high temperature, burn that off, and the ash that's left is called an extracted supplement. Oftentimes these are marketed as vegetarian formula or food-based rather than food concentrate. And they'll throw stuff like alfalfa and rice bran in there to appeal to vegetarians and people like that. The third type is called food concentrates. Food concentrate is essentially what it's named. It's concentrated food. They use low temperature. All the enzymes are there. All the vitamins are there in their most natural form. And if you think of a plastic orange, if we just take a plastic orange that doesn't have anything in it, that's basically a synthetic vitamin. It looks like a piece of fruit, but our cells know the difference, right? With an extracted vitamin, that's like this. This is a container of lemon juice. Well, it's got some juice in there somewhere, but the body has to work through that casing in order to get to that, to those vitamins. Third case would be something like this, where we have a real orange, and that's a concentrated food. Of course we want to have whole food, but if you're going to have any kind of dietary supplements, the BNBBs, it has to be concentrated food, okay? So, are you going to have more energy? The number one question I think probably every trainer and every nutrition person in the world gets is, are you going to have more energy? Probably, again, we're going to jump ahead. We'll cover this more in the next segment here, and I'll tell you exactly what's going to be going on with your body.